What do CEOs need to know about sales these days? A lot. Outdated sales strategies and tactics plague most companies today. Listen to what innovative CEOs and experts have to say about how to change all that with Sales Talk for CEOs. Welcome to Sales Talk for CEOs. Today, I want to talk about a topic that is a little bit controversial, and there have been a lot of posts about it on LinkedIn lately. So I thought, how timely. I will address this topic of social selling. I don't even know what that means anymore, but when social media first came on the scene, social selling was using social media to sell. Not really, because we shouldn't be selling on social. We shouldn't have been then, we shouldn't be now, but to network, to meet the people that you need to meet and help you build relationships for sure. So the controversy stems from really just bad use of social media. And it stems from leadership in companies, either not training or poorly training salespeople and asking them to use social media as part of their cold outreach to prospects, of course, right? So, you think about what a salesperson needs to do today. They have a list of their target audience, the companies, and then they figure out who at those companies they should reach out to. And they're going to reach out to them by phone. They're going to leave voicemails. They're going to send emails. They might send something in the mail. They're going to reach out on social media. They might text them, all these different ways that they're going to try to reach someone who doesn't know them, right? So as part of that, we've now started training in the last however many years, salespeople to use social media and particularly LinkedIn to try to do cold outreach. Now, it isn't working very well, and that's super unfortunate, but I think it's because we're using it wrong. So the controversy is really, should salespeople be using social media to sell or not? And a lot of people are saying, just stop. Don't do it anymore because you're doing such a poor job of it and it isn't working and it's annoying everybody. So don't have salespeople use social media anymore. That's an interesting, I kind of get it, right? I'm pretty sick of it too. If you go to your LinkedIn inbox on any given day, and there are so many people trying to sell you something. And even where we've taught them, oh, hey, don't just, connect and then start selling. Go look at their profile, click like a few times, make a couple of comments, and then connect with them and try to sell them something. No, wrong. All right. So look, salespeople are struggling. It's harder than it's ever been to get to people who you don't know. I'm going to pause here and say something I've said a lot of times before. I write about it and I say it in a lot of my podcasts. Get introductions, right? Give salespeople a highly targeted list with the buyers that they need to get in touch with at each company with a tremendously engaging message. Right? Give them that, right? And then, let's show them how to do this well, right? But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We set them off. We have poorly targeted lists. Sometimes they're not even sure who the right people are to reach out to, and they don't have enough information. They're not doing enough research, and they just go out on LinkedIn, find these people, click like, make a comment, click connect, and don't even write a good connection message. And then they just start to sell to them. Okay. But what other choice do they have? Well, let's step back a bit and talk about what it takes to get to know people and build a relationship. So before there was social media or email or, much of the internet, and even before that, right, we would go places and meet people. We would go out and network. We would go to events. We would go to conferences. We would go to professional development groups. Um, we would stop by companies and say hello. We would go out and meet people. We can still do that today. We can still go to trade shows and events. We can still go to networking events. We can still go out and meet people in person. But with the global nature of our sale, it's not really the way we're going to meet most of the people that we need to meet. We can meet some of them that way, and we should. We can even hold our own events and bring them to us and meet them that way. But social media is another way that we can meet people. But when we meet people, we don't immediately start selling to them, or at least we shouldn't. If we meet somebody at a networking event, we have a conversation. We get to know each other. You don't even know if that person needs what you have, so why would you start selling to them? Same thing at a trade show. It's likely that they might need what you have because they're at the trade show, which is on a topic that is, something that tells you they're there because they might need what you sell. However, we don't know that. So we start a conversation and we chat and we learn. And then if we hear some things that tell us that they might be in need of our solution, we start to talk about that. But we don't start to sell immediately. This is where we're all going wrong. We have to learn first. We have to learn where this buyer is, and then we can see if there's a need and start to sell. So on social media, if we are there to learn and grow together, and if we're there to network, that can work pretty well. We get to know people a little bit. But because we put these salespeople under such tremendous pressure, they just have to, call and email and link in every person on their list and see if they can get them interested in talking to them. And that's a lot of pressure. And they need to do it fast. So should they be using social media or not? Well, it is super annoying for them to use it the way they're using it now. But what if we train them to use it properly? What if we had them thinking about less volume and higher quality? Oh my gosh, I know that's scaring a lot of people out there. CEOs are thinking, oh my gosh, we're not hitting our numbers now. You're going to decrease the volume? Well, I think that we need to get to this quality over quantity place if we really want to close more deals, if we really want to win in the marketplace. So should they be using social media to sell? Absolutely not. Could they use social media to meet people and build relationships and get introductions? Absolutely, they could. So I believe that is what we should teach them to do. Again, we need to equip them, though. Equip them with highly targeted lists and identify the right people within those companies for them to build relationships with, and give them engaging messaging that will pique someone's curiosity enough to want to talk about it, even if they're not thinking about buying right now. We want to get them to have that conversation. So if we equip them with that, and then they do their own proper research to know the people that they're calling on, to know the industry, to know what a day in the life of a person with X title is, and what kinds of things they think about, and what kinds of needs they're going to have, and how their solution can fit into that. If we teach them all of this and help them be well prepared, then I believe they could go out on social media like LinkedIn and find the right people. And yes, click like, that's fine. And make a comment that's really thoughtful and meaningful, and follow that person and get to know them, and then request to connect and be upfront about it. I've been following you and reading what you post. I'm very interested in it. I work in your industry, and I'm curious if your company uses this type of solution or how you solve for this. And I'd love to connect, instead of just blasting them, right? So then once they connect, again, don't start selling. Continue interacting and perhaps share some content that's useful, and strike up a conversation if you can. But most people are they're so weary now. They're so tired of all these salespeople approaching them. It's going to be really hard to get them to connect with you. And then if you start to sell to them right away, they're just going to, unconnect. So they'll just be, having a bad impression of your company. It's just not worth it. So on this topic of should salespeople use social media or not, you're a CEO. You tell me, do you want a salesperson reaching out to you on LinkedIn and trying to sell you something? Do you want them inauthentically clicking like and just making AI comments on your posts? Do you want them to trick you into somehow connecting with them and then just send you a sales message? I don't know. But you're asking them to do that to other people. So I think we have to think about, what do we really want? How do we want to be sold to? And how do our salespeople sell? Is that the way we would want to be sold to? And then I think, yes, you can use social media as one of the pathways to meeting people. Absolutely. But do it well. So as a CEO listening to this, or as someone who supports a CEO listening to this, really think through, what is the strategy for cold outreach at your company? How do you want to appear to those that you want to sell to? What is it you really want your salespeople to be doing on social media? Do you want them selling there, or do you want them engaging people, building relationships, and when the time is right, asking for a conversation and having a sales conversation on the phone when they have that person's undivided attention? Think about what it is you want. And then you decide, should your salespeople use social media or not? If you need help with this at all, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. I'm delighted to chat with you about it. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe.